Yo, what's happening, friendos? Welcome back to the Tropical Garage. My name is Troy, and today we're going to be doing a video about solving a misting issue that I've been dealing with in the garage for the past 5 years. First, before I get into the video, I want to send a huge thank you over to Marty at MIstking. I've been using MIstking products exclusively for well over 10 years to keep my tank's humidity in the ideal zone. Marty's always been super helpful and very quick to answer any questions that I may have had. And in this particular situation, he helped me immensely, not only by supplying me with the products, but also devising a game plan, or helping me devise a game plan to solve this issue. So, Marty, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And more importantly, the frogs are going to appreciate it. So, thanks, buddy. Now, getting into the actual issue that I'm having is, for the past 5 years, as you guys know, I moved out to the garage, and I don't have running water out here. So it became quite an issue to supply RO water to the garage. My garage is not attached to my house, it's detached. So I had to basically run a hose, a garden hose that was hooked up to a big sump pump. And I had to, I'll show you in the video how I had to do it, but I had to run water, pump water out here to the garage. It was a big pain in the butt. And I had like a 20-gallon reservoir, so to speak. I probably had to fill it once or twice a week. And if I got lazy and I didn't refill it, then also it's not airtight. So all kinds of debris gets in there. Flies, spiders, spider poop, nasty stuff. Just the reservoir is disgusting. You'll see in the video as well. But if I got lazy and I didn't switch, or I didn't fill the water, or if I forgot to fill the water, then when the water got really low, all that nasty stuff that was settled in the bottom would get sucked up by the pumps and then clog all my nozzles, and I would have to clean nozzles every year, and half the nozzles would break, taking them off or putting them back on. And it just started to become like a big pain in the butt. So, yeah, I've been dealing with that for the past 5 years, and I came up with, well, I reached out to Marty, and we kind of came up with a plan here, which you'll see in the video. So, now that you guys understand the backstory of what was going on, I'll let you watch the video and see how I used to do it, how I do it now, and how everything out here is just peachy, and I love it now. So stay tuned. So to begin to understand the issue I was having, I'll first have to show you how I got water out to the garage. Now, this is my dirty basement, so pardon the mess. But I had to open the basement window and bring the end of the garden hose inside, and then I had to screw it to the sump pump. And here you can see my old bulk reef supply RO unit that I've had running for about 12 years or so. The reservoir I'm using is a 37-gallon trash can with a float valve, and also it has a small submersible pump to keep the water movement at all times. I do have the sump pump plugged into a Genie smart plug that I can manually turn on or off with the Genie app on my phone. And here's an incredibly beautiful view of my previous reservoir setup. It's a 20-gallon-ish plastic tote with a hole drilled into the top for the outlet hose for the sump pump. And as you can already tell, it's not airtight, and you can just see all the super nasty debris that collects at the bottom. So it's easy to understand that when the water level gets low, a lot of this crap gets sucked into the lines and it clogs the nozzles. I'll also add that they don't only clog when the level's low, but also if I'm filling the reservoir up and the misting system just happens to go off while I'm doing so, or even shortly after I've added water and the debris hasn't settled, again, it's going to clog. So here we have some examples of some nozzles that are clogged and some not spraying at all and literally just dripping. Others are spraying, but spraying quite poorly. And yes, the nozzles can be taken apart and cleaned. And while I've done it over the years, it is quite easy. Many of the nozzles, though, for me, they're breaking, either when you're unscrewing it or putting them back together. And once that happens, then you're stuck ordering more dual nozzle assemblies in my case. So this is the actual process here of me filling the reservoir, which only takes about 2 to 3 minutes to fill. So here you see I'm just using the Genie app to turn the pump on, and you can quickly see how the pressure of the water would just stir up all the debris in the bottom as it was filling, and how this could be a problem. Also, it was a total pain in the butt, running downstairs, hooking it all up, running out to the garage, filling the tank, running back downstairs, and unhooking it. While the method has definitely gotten the job done for the past 5 years, I've always known there was a much better solution out there. And here it is, the Jungle Hobbies Reverse Osmosis Unit. Not only does this unit look sweet, it also has a ton of great features, such as quick change filter cartridges that you can easily swap out with your hands. It has a booster pump, auto flush, a very easy to read TDS meter. It also lets you know when the pressure tank is full. That's right, no more reservoir. As I said, this system runs off a pressure tank that feeds the misting system directly. It also has an indicator light warning that lets you know if the system is not getting any water from the feed source. Lastly, it also came with a little faucet so I could fill things up with RO water out in the garage, or if I just want to have some good drinking water. Now, all these features are great and all, but we do still have a big issue. Getting the feed water out to the detached garage in the Ohio winter months so that the unit can make RO water. The simple and easy solution to that was a heated hose like you'd see on an RV or a camper. Now, what I did to make this step even easier in terms of drilling holes in houses and finding fittings to reduce down to the 1/4 inch line that goes directly into the unit, I just simply ran that 1/4 inch line through the entire heated hose. This way I didn't need to find any fittings or mess around with any potential leaks and whatnot, and I didn't need to drill a big old hole in the house, so really the heated hose is being used more like a heated conduit, if that makes sense. So once the hose was ran, the rest is pretty simple. I ran the 1/4 inch line to a 1/4 inch ball valve so that I could turn the feed water on or off as needed, and I plugged the power cord in. Then I just started plugging the specific color lines into the designated color connector. I ran the line to the faucet, run the drain line to the drain, or outside in my case, and you're going to run the RO line to the pressure tanks, from the pressure tanks to the solenoid valves, and then to the advanced MIstking pumps. It sounds somewhat confusing, but honestly, it's incredibly simple once you understand how it all works. And speaking of pressure tanks, Marty originally sent me 2.5 gallon pressure tanks, and I actually decided to also add a 5 gallon pressure tank so that I could have access to more water out here in the garage to fill things like foggers or tadpole water or my pump mister that I sometimes use, or anytime I just want RO water, I'd like to have more access to it. That's it. We now have clean RO water in the garage at all times. I honestly didn't realize how much I needed this in my life so badly. It's just one less thing to have to worry about. And I'm a man of convenience. Marty also sent me a ton of replacement nozzles since my old ones were clogged. And now after a couple months of having the system up and running, everything's working perfect and as it should be. And I couldn't be happier about it. Alrighty, friendos, that's going to do it for this video. If you're someone that's also been plagued by the clogged nozzles, I'd highly recommend this type of setup so that you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'll leave some links in the description so you can go order some cool stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Goldberg, out.